Hi, this is Phil Tuttle, president of Walk Through the Bible. And as we confront this challenge of COVID-19 together, there's a passage that God's brought to my mind repeatedly. It's one of my favorite stories since I was a kid. It's recorded in Mark chapter 4, verses 35 through 41. It's the story of Jesus in the boat with the disciples going through a storm. And the parallels with our situation are just unmistakable. You know, Jesus was the one who said, let's cross over to the other side. He's in the boat with them. So really the first principle is this, that Jesus is not surprised by the storm. Sea of Galilee is in a bowl. Lots of times you don't see the next weather front that's coming through. But this is Jesus. This is God himself. He's the same one who spun the planets into orbit. He's the same one who scooped out that valley right there and filled it with water. He's not surprised by the storm. And this virus that we're confronting individually and nationally and globally, it's ultimately from Satan, because all sickness and death is sourced in Satan. But God wasn't surprised by it. And he knows how. He's not stressed out about this like we are. That really leads us to the second part of this. Where is Jesus? He's in the back of the boat in the stern, and he's sound asleep. In fact, he's so sound asleep that it annoys his disciples, his close friends, and they shake him and they wake him up and they say, Lord, don't you even care that we're going to perish out here? Jesus is peace in the storm. Not just he's at peace, he himself is peace. And while we wait for things to subside, it's possible for us, as we draw closer to Jesus, to be at peace even in the midst of the storm. Jesus gets up and he speaks to the wind and the waves. And as I think of the wind and the waves, I think of each new wind that comes through. It's like each band of a hurricane. It's like the surge of the virus seems to get worse and worse. And you've got the waters going up and down, just like our economy. You'll hear something hopeful, then you hear something dreadful. And Jesus says to all that, peace, be still, and it's all calm. Jesus has authority over the storm. There will come a time, all storms come to an end, and Jesus has the authority to just speak and bring peace to all that we're facing right now. When I was a kid, the story ended right there. But it actually goes on in the scriptures. Jesus turns to his disciples and he says to them, why are you so afraid? Do you still have such small faith, even though we've been hanging out together for quite a while now? You see, God has a bigger agenda even than changing our circumstances. He wants to take us deeper with him. Jesus uses the storm to grow our faith. The disciples look at each other and they go, who is this, that even the wind and the waves obey him? That's a great expression of worship. And that's part of God's goal through even this time, is that we would have a higher view of him and trust less in ourselves. So there it is right there, that Jesus is not surprised by this storm any more than he was by that one in the boat. Jesus is peace in the midst of this storm. Jesus has authority over this storm and every other storm in the past, present, or future. And ultimately, Jesus uses the storm to grow our faith. I hope this passage encourages you like God's using it to encourage my heart. We're going to get through this. We're going to survive this together. But I don't want to go back to just business as usual. It's not just, Lord, please change the circumstances. I want to come out on the other side with stronger and deeper trust in God himself. And that's my prayer for you also, my friends. We'll talk again soon.